Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Homage to the Blessed One, the Worthy One, the Supremely Enlightened One. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Let's worship our teacher. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Today, we're going to learn the sutta. It is from the Samyukta Nikaya, Connected Discourses. It's from the Salayatana work. If you want to study, if you want to see the element meditations, or if you want to develop any kind of understanding of yourself, you have to know that this body is a major fact that you should pay attention on. And all the karma that we collect or create by physically, verbally, even in mental. So that is also related with these great elements. Everything what we see, like in Supreme Buddha says, the Pancha Upadana Khanda Vidukkha, the 5 aggregates of clinging is suffering. So those are all connected. Those are all cause for suffering. And as we are practicing Dhamma, we are unable to understand, identify that how this actually affects on our life. That we say that we are not something that evil thing or thoughts is arising within us. These are all comes from the outside part and develops gradually in ourselves. Okay? Like from the birth, that we are not the people that we want to drink common. We are not the people who wanted to cheat, who wanted to tell lies, who wanted to kill living beings. Because we haven't learned those things when we were kids. We have entirely different understanding, practices. What the teachers and what our family or society told us when we were kids. But as gradually we are growing older, whatever in the society, everything we observe and what we do, we take inside us and we give chance to behave or act on those things what we have given chance to come inside. Simply, that thing, Supreme Buddha says, that how the Mara capture us, how he bind us in his realm, bind us in this world, that things we're going to learn today. It's a little bit difficult sutta to see, but I think we can discuss on it more. That it comes in the Salayatana Vaka, basis of 6. So definitely it's simple. It says about your eyes, ear, nose, tongue, body, and mind. Did I complete everything? Yeah, nose also. So six places. So it is explain about this. Okay, this sutta name is called Paṭhamamārapāsasutta. Paṭha means first. First. Paṭhama means first. Mara means, the Mara. It says the evil one. See, simple guy. Pasa means the smell, or the cowboys, they use the rope to catch the bulls or cow. What it called? Do you know anyone?
Lasso.
No.
Lasso.
Okay, so the pasha is something like that. So he just throw on them, means the Mara, what he does, he just circle and throw on ours, and he capture us. So the pasha is something like that. So Mārapāsasutta. So how the Mara capture us, okay, or his snarl is there. It explains, Santi bhikkave chakku vinyeya rupa. Because there are some forms. What forms? Whatever visible to us, okay, which we can identify, which we can understand, okay, vinyaya, which we take in, okay, which we take in. There are a lot of forms everywhere we see. Means when you are driving, that's all the forms. Do you remember all the things when you are driving? Do you remember everything? Do you pay attention on everything? No. Only couple of signs that we see, like some big tree, or any holdings, or the posters, what we see, or the person, the car. Some of the features we remember. That's all. So the chakku vinyeya rupa, the forms what we take in by understanding, or give chance to understand. Such a thing. So this is not about when you are driving, when you are going and you're not paying attention. Sometimes we are in different world and we are walking, but our eyes are open, but we don't remember. If when we are going for the walk, we don't remember how many steps we take. We don't remember how much grass we have seen. We don't remember the stones, not all the time. But the particular, any dog comes in front of us, or any signs is there that someone is sitting there, the special things that we pay attention on it. Those things, when we pay attention on it, that thing we take inside. So Santi bhikkave, because there are forms, which we take in, we understand, we identify, chakku vinyeya rupa, those are ittha, means desirable. Ittha means desirable. Kanta, agreeable, that we like that thing. Manapa, it pleasing us, it suits with our mind. Manapa means in your mind, or it pleases you, suits to you. Piyarupa, you like more and more. The form that it is there, it delights you. Kamopasahita, which gives you a chance, pleasuring kind of way. Rajaniya, it means it's tantalizing, what we call that, capture us, hold us, something like that. Kamopasahita Rajaniya. So whatever the forms what we see, there are some forms, Santi bhikkave, some forms are there which are very delighted, which are very desirable, lovely, agreeable, pleasing, and this all takes us, makes our life more happier when we capture them. We feel pleasurable, we feel bound with it, we feel happy with it when we see that form, you know. Tangcha bhikkhu. So when the bhikkhu, what he does, tangcha bhikkhu abhinandati. So what this bhikkhu does when the bhikkhu is looking at these forms, like that monks has to refrain from so many things, we all know, but whatever the restraints that we are asked to restrain, once those things come in front of our eyes, what happened? Immediately, some of the time we give in, because we are abstaining from it, we are avoiding those things. And when it comes, those things are delighted to us. Those things are very, we want it more and more. It's a pleasurable thing to see those things. When such a thing appears, and what happened? This bhikkhu, abhinandati, abhivadati, achosayati. Abhinandati means this bhikkhu seeks delight in it, Abhinandati, feels happy in that. Okay, abhivadati, he praise about those things, welcome those things. Ajosayati, he holds it in within himself. Establish those things. So like this happened. All things happen very fast. It does not take a longer time to see. Simply when we are looking at what we do, whenever we are going somewhere, we see something, some delightful vision, some beautiful sight, and what happened? We immediately give chance to come inside us, and we see that good looking. Simply, even our own face, when we see in the mirror, what happened? We take our very good care of that. We put a lot of makeups and everything, grooming, all the beauty thing what we do, And when we see our room, how we see ourselves, if we are wearing the beautiful dress or the tie coat, on that time, we try to see how we look. And we try to take care of that until that we feel comfortable. Okay, I am looking good. I'm perfect now. I can go any function like that. So up to that point, so that is called abhinandati. When we see ourselves, we are pleased, we are happy in that moment. Abhivadati, we say, we talked about to ourselves directly, okay, this look is looking good on me. This color is look good. This suit looks on me, Or if someone is there, we talked about that too. Oh, this dress is really beautiful. It suits you, It gives a different look to you. So when we see the forms which are really agreeable, delightable, what please us, what drive our entire mind and hold our mind, capture ourselves. Such a vision, such a forms, when it comes in front of us, we feel happy to see that. We feel we welcome all the forms. We praise about those words. We praise those forms by our words, and we hold those pictures in our mind. I mean, there are several pictures, like when the comparison comes to our mind, when we compare to the two different races or two different people, what is that? So that is called ajosayati, that we have captured those things and memorize those things. We keep it in our memory. So what happened? That the judgment or that the comparison, comes because of it. Supreme Buddha says, Ayang Mucchati Bhikkhave, because that I call this bhikkhu Avasagato Marasa, that he has entered in the house of Mara. You know, he has entered in Mara's lair. Avas, it means kind of a home. So he has entered in Mara's house. Maras Vasangato, that Mara has control on him. You know, Paṭhamamārapāsasutta Marapaso, that Mara's now has been fastened on him. Now that this Mara, what he has put in this person, now he has captured and it is tightened completely. That thing he cannot escape from it anymore. You know, the person, the line is secured now. He has holded it. How? Just by when the bhikkhu or any person, Supreme Buddha mentioned here about the person, but as a disciple, these are all things are related with us too. So every time when we see any forms which are very beautiful, delighted, we delight in that. We love those forms, pleasing forms, which captured our all the attention. Such a forms, those things, when we delight in those, abhinandati, we say we feel happy to look at them. Some of the forms are there we want to see again and again. Why? Because abhinandati is there, because you feel delighted. See, simple things. When you go to any school or attending any class, how much time you pay attention on it? Within a 15 minutes or half an hour, you get bored. That happens common, But for the people who are watching the movie for 1.5 hours or 2 hours, or in India, it's more than, it's close to 3 hours movie, 2.5 or minimum. And you have to see that entire in one session. There is interval for 10 minutes or maximum 5 to 10 minutes. But even though in this 2.5 hours, they are sitting in one place, we cannot say same thing if we go to any school, college. Even sometimes in this class, when we are learning Dhamma, how many times our mind goes here and there. But when you are watching the movie, does that same thing happen? No, you are completely captured in that. That is called abhinandati. It means you are inside, you delighted yourself in that. Abhivadati, you praise about all the times. Whenever you are in the friend circle, what do you do? Oh, immediately you ask, did you watch that movie? Oh, it's beautiful, you must go. Or I can take you there, or we praise about those things, the beautiful moments, because we have captured, we have spent that, and while we are watching that, even when we already have watched, when we come outside, we place that entire scenes. Some of the time that happens, we memorize the phrases or memorize the dialogues, and we use some time. That called ajjosaya tiktati. We have captured, we have made the base of it in our mind. That is called avasagato maras. You have entered in the lair, or you have entered in the home of Mara. That is called maras vasangato. That the Mara has control on you. He has to hold on you. Paṭhamamārapāsasutta, that the Mara's never captured you, and that bound or the binding is very tight on you. Baddhoso Mara bandhanena, that now you have captured, by the Mara. So you're in hold of yatha kama karniyo pavamitra. So Buddha says that he has been he is bound by the bondage of Mara, and the evil one or wicked one can do with him as he wishes. So now that this person has in the mercy of Mara, whatever he wants, he can do it. He can ask you to do it again and again because you have given yourself up. How the Mara does those things? If you have seen something delightful, he asks you, go and look at again. If someone, some individual form is there, any person is there, what you do? Spend hours and hours to look at them, or usually we call it hitting on them. Then what happens? We are ready to spend money for that. We are ready to spend time. We are ready to spend money. Even we are ready to do unethical things to get that again and again in our life. So misbehavior happens because that we have given that form to hold ourselves. That is the Supreme Buddha says that this wicked one, whatever he wants to do, he can do it with us. That is called the Mara Bandhana, the holding of Mara. And how that happened? Just because this desirable, lovely, agreeable, pleasing, which sensually pleases us, it gives the happiness. It makes us delightful. Hold us. Such a forms when we first see, looking at that form, what we do, we delight to see it. We feel happy to look at it. Then we welcome it. We praise about it. We hold them. We hold them within, inside us. Only on that time. Same form cannot be held by two people. Like some of the things that you feel, this is a good looking one. For another person, it's not. It's something common, simple for them. I same one, you are looking the same person in the same way, but the delight, the happiness we feel, it is different for every individual being. Some of the time when two people capture the same thing in the same way, the dispute happening between them, the fights, all things are doing how the Mara wishes. It is on him. Whatever he wants, he can delight. For the monks, it is the same thing. For us also, smallest things that we are away from it, once we come to contact with it, it captures our mind and it haunts us for a longer time. That Arad Virya, the phrase is called the constant effort, the outstanding effort that Supreme Buddha explains. That thing needs for us to fight with those urges. If we give in, then what will happen? Automatically, the breaking precepts happens there. See, that's why Supreme Buddha mentioned the 5 precepts for us too. 5 precepts, what it does, precisely that things stop us from this thing to happen. Recalling again and again of the 5 precepts, what it says, I'm not going to harm the living being, any form of the being, I'm not. What it does, it gives us a chance to see the living being, what is there. Not only just killing, but hurting that another person. So whatever, so those are things are there. That when we hold it, when we feel happy, when we're pleased, that continuously we call that Mara as holy Maras. Supreme Buddha mentioned further the same way for the eyes, ear, our nose, our tongue, uh, our body, and our mind. Same thing goes. When you hear the delightful music which pleases you, what we do? We want to hear it again and again. Some of the time, you may have noticed that thing. Some of the time that couple of years back, you have listened to music, and while you're driving, immediately you start to, the humming is there, the small humming you do. And once you reach your house or any place, what you do, you just take your mobile and search for it. It happens sometimes, you look for it. Okay, what was that sound? What was that? The verses, what the sound, what the music was there. You look for that. Why? Because Abhinandati, you felt delighted in it. How many years before you have listened that? Years before. But still that is holding, that the hold of that music, delighted, still affecting on you. So what you are going to do, because you open your mobile, you Google it, you just type sometimes different words that what you remember. So you take effort to see that, to refresh that memories. For what? Because you feel delighted. You have given chance to see. That thing Supreme Buddha is mentioning. It is also Mara. Memory is what we collect. The things what we have heard for a long time. That taste, we want to, every time when we cook something, we judge that, we will see that, okay, last time the taste was this, and it was beautiful. I want to get it again. For several times, we take the trials to do that. The smell also, the odors for what we want to smell it. Different perfumes, different things. Refresh the memories. All five senses. The seeing, hearing, smell, then taste, and the feeling, bodily feeling. What we do, we want to recreate it again and again. That thing happens once we do the Abhinandati, when we delighted in it, we praise in it. We welcome those things. Once we welcome those things, then it continuously abhivadati, achosaya tichati. We want that again and again. We have to feel that same experience again. So many people we must have seen, I have went on that adventure and I want to feel that same thing again. Fantasy is what we create just to feel how we have felt before. And for that, we do anything, whatever it is there, to fulfill those desires. Whatever we do to complete those desires, it is the way of Mara acting on us. That's why Supreme Buddha says that we have this yatha kama karaniyo pap mitto. Papimato, that Baddho Mara Bandhanina, that this person who want to recreate the same thing again and again, he has been held by those memories. Then now, whatever this Papimato, this wicked one, this evil one, whatever he wants to do, he can do his ways on us. That recreation of those things, wanting it again and again, feel burning inside to capture those things again. That thing, Supreme says. Same goes for the mind also. Santi bhikkave mano vinyeya dhamma, because there are some of the thoughts that we have captured in our mind. Ittha, kanta, manapa, vyarupa, which is ittha, it's we like it. Kanta delights in it. Manapa, we love it. It suits to us. Vyarupa, it's a beautiful, for us. Kamu upasahita rajaniya, which gives the sensual pleasure to us, the highest pleasure of us, mind, rajaniya, I can say. So, tangche bhikkhu abhinandati, for those thoughts, he welcomes them, he delights in them. Abhivadati, he praise them. Achosayati. See, everything what comes to our mind, how much time we spend thinking, and those are all the memories what we have created. All those things what we have want to stay again and again, we want to feel again and again. Those thoughts, it is also now Mara. The bandhan, the Mara Pasha is that once we give those thoughts action, automatically Supreme Buddha says this bhikkhu has entered, or this person has entered in the Mara's lair, or in the Mara's house. Avasu Maragato, or Avasagato Marasa, who has entered in the Mara's home. Mara's Vasangato, Mara has captured him. Now he has hold on him. Paṭhamamārapāsasutta. Now the Mara has a control on him. He has holded him tightly. But those who Mara bandhani, the person who has been captured by Mara, bound with the Mara's Pasha, now Mara can do whatever he likes this person. That thing. Then Supreme Buddha says in simple way, Santi ko santi ko bhikkave chakku vinyeya rupa. Because there are some forms that we see by our eyes, or we capture those things. Ittha kanta manama rupa kamu upasahita rajaniya, which is delighted, we feel happy, praises, welcome it. It is all things which gives a sensual desire, the highest praise. Tangche bhikkhu nabi nandati. This bhikkhu does not delight in it. Nabi vadati, does not welcome it, does not praise about it. Najjo sai tichati, neither he holds the vision, or neither he dwells on those, or doesn't capture those things in him. What is happening? First, everything what he sees, he is giving himself. But now, does not. So many forms that we see, like all the things that we see something that we do not have, if you see the idea of thieves, the youngsters, the common people, the small kid, whenever he goes to the shop, whenever he sees chocolate or candies, what comes to his mind first? I want to taste it, I want this. And if he has asked his mother or father that he wants, and mother and father already scolded him, don't take it. Then first thought what it comes, let me take it. The stealing thought arises in that person, does not? Some of the time that when the kid has take it, mother or father, they immediately slap on him, they put him, don't take it there, don't steal it, keep it there, They used this harsh words. So what happened? This kid, sometimes, once it happened, next time what he does, he fear for that. If someone see if I'm stealing, what will happen? So what he does, he try to avoid those desire. I do not want to be a bad person. I do not want to get scolded. I do not want to get beaten, you know. Because of those things, what he does, he tries to divert his mind from that chocolate. Changes his way. He goes and look for something else. So what he does, for that, the desire toward that chocolate, definitely this chocolate is itta. It is, he wants it, you know, manapa. He desires it, you know, piyaropa. He welcomes it, you know, feel happy. It will make him happy essentially, you know, it will give him the beautiful taste. But what he does, he divert his mind from this, all the things toward what? Na vinanditi. He does not delight in that. Okay, he sees all the bad things, what he will call. Whatever the things is there, what is it? He changes the perception toward that chocolate in that moment. Navi vadati. He tells himself again and again, don't take it. Don't. No one will like it. You will regret. You will regret to take. If you steal these things, you will regret by yourself. Some of the decisions what we take, before the making decisions, don't we think in the same way as this kid is doing? We also say, we will regret it if once we take bad actions. We cannot go back once we have stepped forward. And this thing, this kid's mind is not that much evil like us, you know, does not have a lot of things, but small things. What he has seen in this world, he judge on the basis of that. So once, if he goes to some different aisle from that chocolate, what he wants, can he do the bad action by stealing it? No. Can he take the risk in his life? No. So in that moment, he has been conquered his evil thoughts in that moment. Na vinandati, na vivadati, nacho sayati, does not give in that desire. Ayang uchati bhikkhave bhikkhu navasagato marasa. In that time, he's not entered in the Mara's nails. Beautiful. The boy, or when we see, it's beautiful. Like sometimes when we look at some pose, beautiful delighted pose is there. You know, shoes, sandals, when we see, try. You know, the marketing, what they do, the window shopping, what we see. Earlier time, there is no window shopping. Earlier time, when you go to the stores, whatever you need, you ask from them. Now what you have? Now what happens? They have made the beautiful places, stores. You go by yourself. And what do we do? Every time when you go to the Walmart or any big places, you know, what do? You go inside and you take what you need, but you take what is not necessary in this moment. Unnecessary things. We buy a lot of things. Doesn't that happen with us? It happens. And once we bring that, all the time we regret. One of my friend is there. What he did, first time when he had the credit card, he said, okay, let's go to the shopping, you know. So they make the bigger mall. It's in India. He went to the bigger mall. He has made the list for only 3,000 rupees, something like that. And when he came back home, the bill was 11,000. His estimate for 3,000, he wanted only that much. And husband and wife, they both go. and the 11,000 bill, everything they brought home. And what happened? He said, since that day, after paying that, I never shop, never take my credit card to any marketing. I make my list, because to paying that rest of money, the 3,000 was his budget, but 11, the rest of that, 7,000-8,000 rupees, he has to bear for a couple of months. See, that I'm saying. So once he make his mind, I do not want to do that anymore. Can he spend unwantedly? Not anymore. Now he has made his mind, I do not want. Same thing goes for our six senses. That our eyes, ear, nose, tongue. When we see the money is going, then we can regret. But for our eyes, ear, nose, tongue, then our body, our mind, same thing, small things, when we capture, when we hold, then we drive ourselves to the Mara's lair. But once we understand that this is causing me a bad thing, this is harming me, it's not helping me, it's hurting me, then what we do? We try to escape from it. That's why, that there is the camps for addict people to get rid of that addiction. Those things are there because once you understand that this makes you miserable, these desires is driving you crazy, they have hold on you. Once you accept that, then you try to change that thing. For changing that thing, what happens? This thing happened. Nabhinatati. You do not feel delighted in those things anymore. Nabhivadati. You do not praise. You do not say, oh, this is a good thing. Those are happy times. Those are things that I want in my life. You do not want to dwell on it anymore. Supreme Buddha says, Ayang Uchati Bhikkave Bhikkhu Navasagato Maras. This Bhikkhu is entered in the Mara's lair. Namaras Vasangato. The Mara does not have captured him. Ummukasa Marapaso. The Mara has not hold it on him. He's not bound, or the Mara's, the Pasha is not fastened on him. So he does not have, the Mara has not captured him yet. Muttoso Mara Bandhani. He's free. He's free from the Mara's bound, the bondage of Mara. He's free from Nayatha Kama Karaniyo Papi Mato. Then Mara cannot do what he delights, because this person is not bound it anymore. Simply think about it individually. Individually, these things is for thinking of this particular thing is individual one. You should think that whatever the forms or hearing, the taste, smell, whatever the captures your mind earlier, like any sugar patient, earlier time that we know how the sugar increase in our life, we are very delighted to have the sugary things, sweet things more and more. And once we have sugar, how we resist them? How? We tell that, oh, it will causing you harm than doing you good, So how we see the same thing, what were delighted for us, now how we see the bad things, what will bring this sweet to us. Some of the time we giving up that, we use sweetener, or I want to just start the small slice of it. I want to taste it. Some of the time, I will take medication from later on. We see, but most of the time we make our mind, I am not going to do that. we begin exercise. Same goes for the obesity, when we getting more, means our body is not working properly, we join the gyms and everything to take care of those things. Same things there. Our day-to-day life, we have that. Supreme Buddha is mentioning here that what things are visible for the bigger picture, those things we can control. But the sum of the things, smaller things, what we see, those things which is holding for the long journey of samsara, we should pay more attention on them too. We should pay more attention on them too. Do not let all the thoughts, or do not let all the forms, sounds, taste, tangibles, smell, or the thoughts invade your mind. Do not let them hold you. Be mindful. So the Mara cannot work through it. So the karma cannot be created. The bad karma especially, because the Mara's one thing is he's great of to create the bad karmas. So the Mara will not have his way to deal with us. We will not be in mercy with the Mara. See how the desire, we are living in the modern society, and we see how the desires are driving people. It looks like when you are looking from the very far, we know we are the part of society. But when we see ourselves, or when we see the society from a little bit further or far, then we see where this world is going toward. Most of people, we were born before the internet, before the cell phone and everything, that thing. And today, where this world is going toward, think about it. And if we are still giving those things continuously, where our future will be. Earlier time, we had time to think of ourselves, think of Dhamma, think of goodness. But now, the 5 minutes or 1 second of memes or 1 second of those short videos, you see the people are addicted to it, completely. One video is finished, next comes, next is finished, third one comes. Does not have time to think for our life, does not have time to take the decisions anymore. Earlier time, when the families, when we sit down, we gather together for the dinner. We talked about how was it your day, how your office work, what new things happened. Now we sit down in front of TV, or whoever wants whatever they want to eat, they do that things. So in that way, the small things what we have earlier, now this everything is captured by Mara. And now he can do whatever he wants, as long as you delighted in those things. But once you become mindful, that to avoid those things, to give in, yourself, giving in those things, then you are away from his way of doing. You have still control on you, not someone else. So be mindful of that. Study the Dhamma, practice slowly. That's why we say the practicing meditation. That's I mentioned earlier time. What the meditation do exactly? Meditation gives the same thing, gives you chance to think of these all things, the 6 senses. Think of that. And once you are thinking, once you are doing, then there is a chance that you can avoid those all evil things. Then you can practice Dhamma. That thing Supreme Buddha is mentioning from this sutta. So if you are not practicing meditation every day, try to spend minimum 10 minutes, begin with 10 minutes, minimum 10 minutes. For first couple of days, it will be a little bit hard. Your mind will always travel. Same goes with us too. Who is practicing for a longer time, for them also 2 days you don't do meditation, and then you begin, all unwanted thoughts comes to your mind to interrupt our meditation. But if you have the constant practice, do not have to dwell on the one single meditation. You can switch the meditations in different ways. Today, if the breathing meditation is not doing this work, not concentrating, do the verbal meditation. Practice the loving kindness meditation, practice the Buddhanusati and those. Do not give the chance to Mara to hold up life. Okay? Be of your own person. So you will have control on your actions. You will have control on where you want to go from this moment. That's all for today. So I hope that you understand this sutta. May this sutta be helpful for you to develop diligence in your life. May this sutta be helpful for you to practice the meditation. May this sutta be helpful for you to understand the Four Noble Truths in this Gautam Buddha's dispensation. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.